What if the self care you crave didn't require a day off, but just 30 seconds? Today, I'm busting the myth that you need a spa weekend to feel whole. Instead, replace it with realistic self care for busy moms that's backed by science. You can weave teeny research supported rituals into your day, even between charting and carpool lanes. Discover why a single mindful sip of tea, a single breath reset before your next patient, or a moment displaying your latest hobby can shift your nervous system from frazzled to focused. If you've ever whispered, I'll start tomorrow, this episode is your permission slip to begin today with just one micro moment of care. Find the full transcript plus bonus resources at inspiredmommds.com/69. You're listening to the Inspired Mom MDs podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Cindy Van Prang. I help physician moms take back control of their time and energy so they can prioritize what matters most and thrive at work and at home. I don't have time for a spa day, or do I? Time is relative. Sometimes it drags and sometimes it rushes past, but it's always precious. I won't pretend to grasp the quantum mysteries of the universe, but here's what I do know. Time is finite. We're all born with the same gift of 60 minutes to the hour and 24 hours to the day. We mark those hours as months and years and birthdays and anniversaries, yet life really unfolds in those split seconds of a baby's first step, the flutter of a first kiss, or that quiet final moment when we leave this world. Our brains distill those moments differently. They slow down in crises and speed up during routine. Honestly, I'm grateful my mind hits the fast forward and hits pause at times. But most days, the illusion that we don't have time feels like a trap. When someone says they don't have time for a workout or a moment of stillness or even a quick stretch, I don't buy it. We all have the same number of seconds. It's not about the time, it's about what we choose to prioritize. That's the real heart of realistic self care for busy moms. It's not about carving out a whole day, it's about choosing small, meaningful ways to honor your well being right where you are with the time you already have. It's about prioritizing. If you pour all your energy into your career, for example, you might climb the ranks quickly and earn titles and make a serious impact in medicine. But at what cost? Sleep, relationships, or joy can all bend or they can break. Or maybe your family comes first and work fits around them. Even then, personal time slips away, doesn't it? When a friend calls at 2 a.m. from a camping trip with a strange rash, you answer the phone and you triage over FaceTime, right? And then you call in a scripper because you value loyalty and friendships, and that's honorable. But what about afterwards? What about when you lie awake, your adrenaline buzzing through your body and you can't get to sleep? And then you're dragging the next day at work or at your kid's soccer game. It would be great to prioritize large blocks of self care. It sounds lovely, right? But that's often unrealistic. I used to try blocking out a large portion of time, an hour and a half, just for workouts. And that included changing and commute time and waiting for the class to start. And that was scheduled 4 times a week. So it's 6 hours for 4 workouts. And it felt really inefficient at best. Now I slip into a virtual class or I run to the gym for just a solo focused 40-minute session or do a 15-minute stretch video before dinner. And these all feel far more doable. And I can use that 6 hours in a week to achieve exercise every day. And this is how realistic self-care for busy moms actually works. It's like microdosing your self-care in shorter moments. It's not just a poetic idea. It's backed by science. Research across psychology and neuroscience and behavior design confirms that small, consistent moments of care can lead to real, measurable changes in mood and resilience and your well-being. These aren't just feel-good rituals, they're minutes that matter. and pick your minutes wisely. Here's some guidance from some really, really smart, articulate people. First, Barbara Fredrickson's broaden and build theory was one of the first to show the power of even fleeting positive emotions. A kind thought or a quick breath, a brief moment of gratitude, or small sparks that expand how we think and feel. And over time, they build lasting psychological strengths like deeper social connection and greater inner resilience. In other words, a single micro moment of uplift can shift our inner landscape in positive ways. Okay, Martin Seligman, his widely cited Three Good Things experiment in 2005, found that when participants wrote down just three positive moments each night, it significantly boosted happiness and decreased depressive symptoms. The ripple effect? Well, a simple gratitude practice becomes a profound mental reset. And interestingly, I want to note some researchers now recommend not doing it every day. Maybe a less frequent practice may make it feel more meaningful. And BJ Fogg, the behavior scientist behind Teeny Habits, the book, echoes this idea from a habit building angle. He found that 30 seconds of anchor routines like stretching while your coffee brews or taking a mindful sip of tea can catalyze much bigger change over time. These small, consistent acts wire in a new sense of agency and momentum, especially when layered into your existing routines. The body of research is clear. Meaningful self care doesn't require hours at a spa. A minute used with intention can shift your physiology, your focus, and your emotional reserves. They're not throwaway moments, they're the minutes that matter. So, what counts as a microdose of self care? It could be as you finish your patient visit, you pause to take a single breath before flipping the next flag on the exam room doors. Or you arrive home and spend a minute in the car with your eyes closed, finding a spot of tension in your body and just consciously relaxing those muscles. I think I've talked about before how I sit in the garage and I just absorb my music and crank it up. Or maybe you brew a tea and sip it in silence, savoring every drop before you jump back into the evening routine. Or maybe you make a killer lemonade or a killer smoothie. So savor your creation. I remember an OR team of nurses at St. Mary's Hospital in Tucson, Arizona. Shout out to you guys. Many of us would save these colorful flip caps from all the medicine vials and give them to the OR nurses. And they would create the most beautiful, creative buttons and pins that they put on their name badge. It was like their flair. And I tell you, those teeny rituals were a bright spot in the chaotic OR halls. The moments they took to create those buttons were their self care. And with the added bonus of cheering us up all around them. So, moments of self care can be anything that brings you joy, from mindfulness to a favorite drink to a hobby. They don't have to last long, just a micro moment. What about, I don't have time for anything extra, even a micro moment? I hear that a lot, and I get it. When you're running on fumes, the idea of adding just one more thing feels almost laughable. But what if you didn't add anything? What if you just tucked it in? And by this, I mean what researchers call habit stacking. It's attaching a small, meaningful action to something you already do, like piggybacking on your routines. That's how realistic self care for busy moms can become an automatic rhythm. For example, each time you click out and finish a chart, you can pause for one slow breath. Or you're brushing your teeth and doing a gentle stretch from side to side while the bristles do their thing. And that's your upper body stretch for the day. Or maybe stand on one foot while you brush your teeth and get some balance training for the day. And here's the thing, these teeny acts may feel invisible at first, but over time, they compound. Like pennies in a jar, they build something bigger than you expected, a version of you who's less reactive and more grounded. Start with one, just one, and then let it become part of the background music to your day. See what happens. So, my final thoughts today are that I want you to remember you don't need to wait for a day off, a massage table, or that perfect moment to start caring for yourself. You can start now with 30 seconds with a breath, with a sip of tea. Microdosing your self-care is not fluff. It's a neuroscience-backed strategy because what you repeat, you reinforce. It's like what you water grows, right? So today, try one teeny thing, stretch in the doorway, take the scenic route home from work, look up at the sky instead of your screen, and let that be your start. This is a realistic self-care idea for busy moms. It's not fancy, but it's powerful. And if you've been telling yourself you don't have the time, maybe it's just time to reprioritize. Because when you honor your minutes, you reclaim your days. And that, my friend, is the secret to living and thriving on your own terms. Don't forget to join me next week for another dose of support and inspiration. And until then, take care of yourselves and take care of those who matter most. It's time to take control and thrive. Thank you for tuning in today to the Inspired Mom MD's podcast. If this episode resonates with you, please share with a friend who may benefit too. And I humbly ask to please leave a review so other Dr. Moms can find me too. And just a quick reminder, this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and isn't a substitute for medical advice or care. I'm a board-certified physician, but this content isn't connected to my clinical practice and no doctor-patient relationship is formed here. Please always talk to your own health professional about any mental or physical health concerns. Please see inspiredmommds.com for full disclaimer.